This is the Barbados Today afternoon news for Thursday, November 9. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary Claire Williams. Classes were suspended at Belmont Primary this morning as parents staged a protest outside of the school. They say they are frustrated that a number of their concerns are not being addressed. We get the details from Barbados Today's Anmar Goodrich Boyce.
A pungent smell, poor lighting and deplorable conditions have caused classes here at the Belmont Primary to be suspended. The upset parents are accusing government of neglecting the school, which has a small roll of about 200 students. They claim that repeated efforts to get the Ministry of Education to address lingering economic issues have fallen on deaf ears, and they have had enough.
There are so many issues right now at this school, and this is the final straw. This school has been neglected for over about 20 years now or so or more. I'm 41. I went to this school. The only thing that has changed in this school is the guard hut, which has never had a security guard in it, and the prefab building, which has been added. This school has been here for over 100 years, and the school is poorly lit. There's no proper lighting at the school. If you come out here at night, out here is pitch black. That's one. Yesterday, with the stench, all the flies were all over the children's food. They had flies on the food, flies on their clothes, flies on them themselves, and that's not acceptable.
We were supposed to have a PTA meeting yesterday. That was cancelled because of the stench. I spent about an hour up here. I can literally taste the scent in my throat. I won't want to eat anything there, because as soon as you do this for the flies, they are back there at you again. It is not good enough.
Up to news time, Barbados Today was unable to reach officials from the Ministry of Education for comment. In the meantime, parents say they are likely to continue their protests tomorrow. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, Barbados Today.
Last month, parents at St. Mark's Primary staged a similar protest over deplorable conditions at that school. St. Thomas MP Cynthia Forde wants an all-round effort to curb increasing incidents of violence among school children. Forde's comments come on the heels of calls from some operators of public service vehicles for a ban on students following an altercation between 3 students and a conductor. The incident resulted in the conductor being chopped on both arms. Forde says there should not be any rash decisions, but rather serious discussions on the way forward.
Proper investigation needs to take place, and you can't just come overnight and make that kind of radical expression without giving it proper investigation and thought. I know that there are challenges with the PSVs. There have been for years, and we've been making calls to make sure that that kind of violent set of incidents will be stymied. But unless proper systems are put in place and regulation, not now only from the schools level, but indeed from the Transport Authority and the Ministry of Public Works and Transport. And I think that's where a lot of the problems are coming. But I will encourage principals and members of staff to enforce the power to search legislation, because unless you have a delegation of senior staff searching the children's bags and making sure that they do not bring in any weapons or any contraband, it's going to get worse.
In other news this afternoon, the Town and Country Planning Department could soon be announcing new water zones as residents and businesses continue to grapple with water outages. This will be included in the final amendment to the draft Physical Development Plan for Barbados. The plan is now before Prime Minister Frundle Stewart, who is Minister for Town Planning. It will be the subject of a final round of public consultations before it is tabled in Parliament. The Deputy Chief Town Planner, George Brown, announced that 6 roads St. Philip would soon be reclassified as a Zone 1 area. That decision came after the Barbados Water Authority discovered a large source of water in the Grove Plantation area recently.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. Tourism officials in the British Virgin Islands say they do not expect the luxury brand to be available to visitors before next year. The BVI, one of the region's most popular tourism destinations, suffered an estimated $3.4 billion in damage from Hurricane Irma in September. Director of Tourism Sharon Flax-Brutus gave an assessment of the state of the sector at a news conference yesterday.
Some of our small properties are currently housing relief workers and receiving guests, and we expect to see this trend continue to grow. Our luxury sector, as you might know, was the hardest hit on all of the islands. Properties such as Necker Island, Peter Island, Guana Island, the ones that has given BVI prominence in terms of the luxury product, have experienced major devastation, and those we do not expect the luxury product in the BVI land base to be up and running this season. We're looking at the season of 2018-2019. But as we seek to reinvigorate our tourism experience in the BVI, we of course are mindful that the road ahead is tough, but we also recognize that it gives us a very unique opportunity to build on our existing product and work on our branding. We are considered a luxury brand, and we intend to maintain that stance, both in terms of product and in terms of the guest experience that we give our visitors to the destination.
On the international scene, the federal government in India is calling on Delhi to address the dangerous levels of pollution in the capital. It has forced the closure of schools and also sparked criticism of authorities. We get more in this report from Reuters News.
It's being called a gas chamber by city officials. Pollution levels in New Delhi have reached dangerous highs, with air quality readings hitting over 600 on Thursday, the most severe level on the government scale, where anything over 100 is considered unhealthy.
My eyes are stinging, I have a bad cough, and I feel unwell when I get home.
Schools have been ordered to shut down, and doctors have declared a public health state of emergency, warning that breathing in the toxic smog is equal to smoking 50 cigarettes a day.
People should not step out of their homes, especially the elderly, pregnant ladies, children, and heart and asthma patients.
The federal government is urging the city to tackle the crisis immediately, but in the coming days, air quality is predicted to get even worse, as strong winds funnel in a potent mix of smoke from burning crops, vehicle emissions, and dust from construction sites.
We've told the government if the pollution levels do not come down, they will have to bring in a car rationing scheme.
The state government has tried limiting car use and taxing trucks that pass through the city, but it hasn't been enough. Last year, New Delhi struggled with its worst pollution in almost 20 years, and things aren't looking much different today. Experts are calling for upgrades to public transport and banning the use of cheap, dirty fuel, warning that unless a serious long-term solution is found, people's lives will be increasingly cut short.
And that's news this afternoon. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.